That story, the one that Nicholson tells at the very outset of the movie, for 5 or 6 minutes or something, in a head close-up, I thought I would tell you why it is I don't eat fish, was actually something that I wrote. On the first day of English class at college, I was asked by the professor, as well as the other 300 students sitting there, to write something intimate about a family member, and I wrote more or less the story of how I killed my grandfather on a fishbone.
One Friday, my parents went out, leaving my brother and I alone to serve ourselves and grandfather. Mom left the fish warming on the stove.
And then 20 years later, I was back at the university talking about the movie and being, I don't know, officially getting a tribute. And I told all the assembled students that they shouldn't pay too much attention to their professors because I had actually been thrown out of English 1 as a result of telling this story, which was somewhat fabricated.
When the inevitable coughing began, my brother and I just sat and looked at each other.
One thing really broke the reality of this very stylistic scene, and suddenly a flashing red light came on a shadow part of the face.
Stuck it into Grandpa's fingers.
And at the end of the film, the same scene comes back, but slightly different.
How do you know that it's supposed to be you that stops it right now? And that you don't know how to stop it.
We thought that it would be very interesting if I could shoot a close-up of one person here, say, against a boardwalk, and here's the camera, and he's over here against the boardwalk. And then I would shoot the opposing close-up over there, but there was nowhere near here.
Maybe it was a block away, or maybe 2 blocks away, or maybe a week away.
And László was enormously gifted at this, of inventing or reinventing the geography every time we made a shot.
Bob staged a scene. These actors were moving from one place to another and all around the room. And I was watching the scene. I said, my God, I don't know how I'm going to light this, you know. So I said, Bob, this is a wonderful scene, but how am I going to light this?
And I said, oh, I left you that little space up there for that.
Now, what am I running burlesque for you today,
just trying to help.
What's the matter? You're not getting enough at home? You got to take a peek around here? Is that your problem?
Bob insisted using the 9th or the 10th floor. I said, Bob, that's going to be an extra really physical hardship, you know, to carry a power up there, equipment and everything, you know. I mean, it's all the outlying areas, it's all the same, you know. Here's the bedroom, there's a living room and bathroom and so on. He says, yes, I agree, but there's one thing is lacking in a lower floor. I want to see the birds.
I mean, you come out dirtier than when you went in, for God's sakes. Now, I'm telling you, it won't even stay hot for 3 minutes on top of everything else. Now, just go in there and take 1 bath and you'll see. Go on, shrivel your testicles.
I get Bob. I get together with him. And I have probably 25 pages of stuff, having gone through every line in the script, including other actors' lines that weren't in scenes with me. And he says, whoa. Forget all that. The script's a script. You can act a part. There's no problem with that. But I want you to do 2 things for me, and that's the role for you. One is, don't point your fucking finger at me or anybody else in the movie. I don't want you doing that, you know. Well, he stripped me of all my talent, you know. That's the only thing I could get people's attention with. And then the second thing he said was, I want you to wear your coat over your shoulders, just drape it, and it'll look fabulous. What the hell is that? I'm going all the way to Atlantic City, 3,000 miles for 10 weeks with 2 German Shepherds and a wife, and I'm supposed to just do 2 things and then I'll be able to play the role? I don't get it, and I don't like it.
The obvious casting would have been to put Nicholson in the parts that he had previously played, which was always this charming character. But I wanted to offer him a greater risk.
I want to switch roles. I want you to play the up vibe. Those are the words he said. I want you to play the up vibe guy, and Jack will play the down vibe guy. Jack Nicholson is the single most competitive human being I've ever met in my life. We had a scene on the beach where I had to run, and I'm a runner. And Bob said to me, don't leave him in the dust here. You know, I don't have a wide enough angle to hold two people. So I went as hard as I could, and the son of a bitch beat me.
Jack Nicholson, I'm not going to work with him, you know. I mean, this guy is a rank, rude, and out of control person, you know, and he never really follows directions, you know. I said, no. And I start getting up and start running out Sunset Boulevard, you know, and Dick was running after. And Jack also noticed, and he stood in the door, and he just stopped and started laughing. You know, it's almost like a Lucifer kind of a grin, and, hey, Kovacs, you know, come back, you know. Anyway, so we became really good friends from there on.
We had a scene where I'm sitting at a table with Jack at a little bar or something like that, and I'm having Bloody Marys. Well, I don't drink.
The prop man started to serve him real Bloody Marys, and by the 12th take, he had 12 Bloody Marys, and he was all over the place, but so much so that he fell out of the chair, and I had to bring him up the back stairs. I didn't want anybody in the hotel to see that my star was really drunk.
So I picked my head up, trying to, like, begin to get it together, and he's got a video camera on me.
Are you picking up with us just being on our first drink? Because if you're picking up with us being on our second or third drink, you got it covered, you know what I mean?
I had him do the speech whilst I was pointing the black and white Sony camera at him, and then I played it for him on television.
And I see it right here. I see what you're talking about. If anything makes me sober, that's what makes me sober. The whole...
Do the thing to me, Bruce, right to me, right now.
I mean the black,
right.
Blowout on the Black Horse Pike?
Yeah, do the whole thing.
Right
yeah,
outside Absecon?
Right. Right now. And action.
A blowout on the Black Horse Pike. Right outside Absecon. Blowout. Black Horse Pike. Right outside Absecon.
Once he had seen himself on video drunk, well, we went back to the set, and of course, he got it in one take, sober.
By the 10th day or so into the movie, everybody was assuming their character all the time. There was no differentiation.
The young lady in the picture, for example, in the final sequence, she showed up on the set, and she had taken off all of her hair. She had cut off all of her hair. And I said, well, Julia, how could you do that? It doesn't match who you are before or after. And she said, well, my mother cut off her hair. Well, there was a scene, indeed, where Ellen Burstyn begins to have a sense that she's aging and cut off all of her hair and threw it into a bonfire, and therefore she should do like her mother did for the last scene. Well, I had to hide her in the shower during the scene.
I don't want you in the shower, honey, unless you're totally packed.
I'm totally packed.
I don't even know.
Things like that happened a lot on this movie, as I recall. I'm not terribly proud of those things, but the actors really got into it.
So I changed, Jack changed. I think on that movie, Jack and I realized that we were lifelong friends.
Jack's perhaps best known quality, external quality, is his charm and his delicious smile and his rather outsized, beautiful teeth. When he smiles, it flashes on the screen. And I was asking him to play a character that doesn't smile. The only time he smiled in the movie, I believe, was during the Miss America pageant.
To this day, I just get very, very moved by it, even though I was kind of an afterthought in the scene. It's the Miss America scene. And Jack gets up there and does his little Jack versus Bert Parks. He does a scene, and finally, he lets Julie walk down the runway.
The most beautiful girl in the world, Miss America.
And as she starts down the runway, Ellen is at the organ, and she plays the Miss America song. It wasn't overcovered. It wasn't close up, close up, close up. I'm in the back standing on crates applauding. She's walking down the runway. It's just breathtaking. It's what I came to Hollywood to do. Mr. Strasberg wouldn't let me leave the actor's studio for 3 years. Everybody else came to Hollywood. I couldn't go. When I was finally allowed to come, I came for that.